Good morning and welcome to this Facebook Live. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and on a Monday and a Friday morning I do my very best to come in live and do some crafting with you, and that's what we're going to do this morning. Now we are creeping ever closer to the launch of the new catalogues, and my stash of catalogues arrived in the house at the end of last week, so I have those ready to get sorted and sent out to people. So if you are living here in the UK and you would like a catalogue, do let me know so I can make sure I add you to my list. Morning Angie, morning Jackie, morning Beryl, morning Jane, morning Caroline. Hello gang, lovely to see you all here. So I have got some pre-order stuff, but I'm sort of holding fire a little bit because the catalogue doesn't launch until the 4th of May. Obviously there are lots of things out there on the internet already showing you, and we will have a bit of a sneaky peek at some bits before we go live, but I'm planning to do some nice things on launch day, so don't want to spoil it all too much before then. But if you are interested and you want catalogues to send you here in the UK, do let me know. If you would like to have a starter kit and put new things in your starter kit, because you can do that, then also let me know. But for now we're going to be playing with a couple more things that are going to still be available in the new catalogue, but are not going to be available at a bundle price. So it's a question as if you want these things, get them now while you can still get that 10% off, and if you already have them, it's just a little reminder to grab them out and have a play. Angie, I saw you've been very busy with scrapbook pages. That's good fun. Excellent. The other thing I wanted to highlight, and I should have got a nice little graphic ready. Morning Glenda. And I will do that because I will bring it up a couple of times over the upcoming weeks, is that you may have seen on my Facebook page that I am going to be the UK representative, if you like, of the Chopped Challenge. Now the Chopped Challenge was started by a demonstrator, Jen Houston, in Canada, and she was joined by Lisa Harden in the US, and they've been running that for a little while, and I'd reached out to them quite a few months ago and said, you know, is it something that you're taking any further? So I had a message from them about a few weeks ago now, to say, are you still interested? We're looking to expand. So the idea of the Chopped Challenge is, it is, morning Lee, it is a sort of paid challenge, if you like. So what will happen is at the beginning of May we will launch the upcoming Chopped Challenge. You can sign up, and here in the UK it is going to be £5. It will be about the equivalent of that wherever you are, and you can sign up and you'll be sent a little kit in the post with some cardstock and some paper and some embellishments and things. And the idea is that you take your little pack and you create something with it, and then you send a photo in, and that goes into a gallery, and everybody votes for their favourite chopped project, and the winner gets to choose the cardstock colours for the next month. Now, as I say, you'll hear lots more about it. I will put more information about it. If you're here in the UK, then you can get your kit from me. If you are in the US, it is Lisa Harden. If you are in Canada, it is Jen Houston. And if you are in Australia, it is Donna Gray. So there's opportunities around the world to join in. Obviously we're not able to send things out of our own markets, but you have opportunities to join in, to get your hands on your little kit, and everybody will get the same. So wherever you are joining from in the world, you will get the same bits in your kit. Obviously the cardstock sizes will be different, but that doesn't deter from everybody being able to take part and starting with the same basic kit. So look out for that. That is coming. That is the chopped challenge that is coming very soon. As I say, whether you're in the Canada, the US, Australia, or here in the UK, you're going to be able to take part in that. But let's get on. That's enough of the headlines of the news. Let's get on with some crafting. Really no idea what we're going to do with these. It really is impromptu. Let's grab these off the shelf. And I've got blisters, and I think every muscle aches after digging in the garden all weekend. But let's do some crafting. There should be enough muscle memory there to keep us going. Right, celebrate sunflowers. I've not had to play with this for ages. A beautiful, beautiful set. Excellent. Thank you, Angie. Very kind, and it's good to share that love, isn't it? Yes, so the celebrate sunflowers, beautiful line image, beautiful imagery on this stamp set. Just love it. Great for colouring in, whether you're watercolouring, whether you've got your watercolour pencils, whether you're doing a bit of stamping blends, however you colour them in, they are absolutely beautiful. And then there's the set of dies as well, and the dies you can either cut, you can cut out that stamped image, those stamped images, and there's your leaves. You've got these other little fancy bits, fancy leaves, and this beautiful a delicate sort of intricate die cut here for the sunflower. Now, as I say, at the moment you can get these at a bundle price. If you have them both, you get your 10% off. In the new catalogue you're going to be able to get them, but not at a bundle price. So let's have a play. Where shall we start? The other one I've got out, and I may actually just incorporate some of these into cards with these. We'll see how we get on. This is the Lovely You, and again it's available at the moment at bundle price, the stamp set and this Clever Punch. Going to be available in the new catalogue, but not at a bundle price. Great for making cards in its own right with all these little floral images and things, but some fabulous sentiments in there that we may make the most of. I have a very nice what's the word I'm looking for, mask just there, look, if we should happen to want it. But let's grab this sunflower, and I'm going to grab actually the saddle brown stays on, I think. And let's have that big sunflower. They do leave that with it. And let's ink this up. It's quite a big stamp with quite a lot of detail on it. But look at that, it just is such a beautiful stamp. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think I might bring in some watercolour pencils. Let us put the lid on our stays on, because we don't want to be drying that out. Bit of Cajun Craze, bit of Daffodil Delight, bit of Pumpkin Pie. And to come in And the central sort of seed. Seed section with some of the oh, that wasn't clever, was it? Broken my pencil, pressed too hard. One moment. The whirring of my pencil sharpener in the background. Let's bring in some black for these seed bits in the middle. Seven albums. Wow. That's some serious scrapbooking going on there, Angie. Just bring in my blender pen. I'm not going to work this too hard because it is just ordinary cardstock. Blend that out a little bit. Okay, let's come in on this edge here with some orange, some pumpkin pie. Of course, some flowers can be reds and all sorts of colours. You haven't got to stick to oranges and yellows. I'm just adding some orange into the base of those petals. Putting a lid on that pencil, we don't need a lid on it, do we? And then I'm going to come in with some Daffodil Delight, and I will go over with my blender pen in a minute. And blend that all in. Obviously, I'm being quite quick just here. But if you're sitting and playing in the sunshine, you can take as long as you like. So I hope everybody else, morning Joe, everybody else has had a good weekend. Whether it's been delightfully lazy or productive, or hope it was what you wanted it to be. It's a big old stamp, this one. come round to this last piece just here. So yeah, we can get so excited about new things that are coming out that actually we can forget the beautiful things that we've got sitting on our shelf, or the beautiful things that are on our wish list that we haven't yet got round to putting on our shelf. And as I say, don't want you to miss out on your opportunity to get your 10% discount on these once the bundle has disappeared. Let's take our blender pen now and let's just blend all that out, and then that loses those sort of harsh lines where one colour starts and another one finishes. It makes us look as if we're really, really clever, when in actual fact we've just scribbled down some colour with some pencils and then gone over it with a pen. There we go. Beautiful, bright, sunshiny sunflower. And I will in a minute cut that out. I think we'll have some of our leaves as well. I think I'll go with one big and two little, although of course it's the two little are both on one stamp, so that's all good. Let's find a little bit more. I'm going to die cut these as well, so it doesn't have to be a posh bit of God, sunflowers are lovely, aren't they? Although we call them sunflowers, quite often it's more of an autumny thing, really, isn't it? So we may be a bit skew-if with our seasons. But by the time autumn comes round, they're not going to be on 10% off. So we don't want to wait till then. I think, I'll take Granny Apple Green. I'm going to... Daffodil Delight gone. I'm going to come back in with some Daffodil Delight. I'm going to add in a bit of yellow coming down here. We'll do the same on these. And then come in with some Granny Apple Green. It's not Granny Apple Green at all. Shall we try that again? Come in with some Old Olive. Could have come in with some Granny Apple Green. I have got a Granny Apple Green pencil. I ought to label my pencils really as to whether they're set 1, set 2, or whether they're oddments that I've picked up in kits, because some of the kits have occasionally had watercolour pencils in. Just to scribble on the corner of here just to get any, although it is yellow, that won't matter because we've got yellow anyway. But then again, we're going to come over here and blend that yellow in with that green. Nothing stopping us coming in with a bit more green if we want to, and a bit more colour, a bit more pigment. Turn down that yellow a little bit. Perfect. Right, let's scribble that colour out of there, so that if we inadvertently pick that up in a little while and use it on, for instance, pink, we don't suddenly get a horrible muddy colour. Now we have dyes for those leaves as well. Oh, I'm sure it would, Megan, because I really was just scribbling. Yeah. The magic is in the blender pen. Now, is that dye going to go through there? I do believe it will. It would help if I didn't throw the other plate on the floor. Now for the wiggling around and finding the point at which that sits on there. Far more difficult than colouring. Look as if they are, yeah, there. It's just finding the bit that's going to work. It's these petals here that are kicking out there, look, match up with those ones that are kicking out just there. Once you find it, it's like, voila, that's obvious. Why did I not see that before? You can, if you're very sensible, what you could do is get like a permanent marker and mark sort of like a bottom part of your die and mark a piece on your stamp that coordinates, and then you'd always know which way. Are we out of lockdown, Megan? We are starting to come out of lockdown. We are now able, the shops are now open. Obviously it's all masks and limited numbers, queues to get in. We can now go and eat or go to a coffee shop or a pub or whatever, but it's only outside, which of course here in the UK it's been beautiful this weekend, but we can't always guarantee that. We are able to meet up with 6 people outdoors or in our gardens. So slowly, not able to mix 2 households indoors yet. In fact, nothing very much indoors yet. So slowly starting to open up, and hopefully vaccination rates are good. So hopefully, the hope is that by sort of the end of June, we will be getting back to some sort of normality, at least for now. I think that normal is going to look a little different than sort of 18 months ago. I know, going out, I met a friend for lunch on Friday, and it was delightful. You know, all the coffee shops are very geared up, or a lot of them are. This particular coffee shop had got a whole pile of blankets, so that if it did get a bit nippy, you've got a blanket to put round your knees. But it was very lovely just to be out and doing something. ink classes are quite a long way off. Bigger organisations can perhaps manage it because they have, you know, all the supplies and things. They have a craft warehouse locally that are, you know, got screens and bits for everybody. I think it'll be a little while yet before I even think about that, really. Right, so we have our sunflower, we have a couple of little, we have our leaves. Beautiful. Now we need some sort of a background for it. To come in with some old olive and I know, you do find yourself thinking that, Caroline, don't you? Yeah, you're a bit behind still again, aren't you, in Northern Ireland? You can't... Yeah, it's outside for family and friends, really. It's only up to 6. Oh, let me go and fetch my trimmer. I have an appointment at the hairdresser's this week. Woohoo! I shall be very pleased to see her and tame this mop. Right, I'm going to cut that in half and score it in half. I'm going to grab that a bit. That one looks as if it's got a bit knocked on the corner. Let's have this bit instead. So we've got a Daffodil Delight base just there. I'm going to cut this at 10 by 14.4. Actually, nothing like indecision. I'm going to make it 13.9 by 9.5. I'm going to have a bit more Daffodil Delight peeking out. Okay, let's take this. And I'm going to grab an old olive ink pad. And I'm going to take this stamp here, which is the little sunflower. And let's do some sunflowery backgrounds on there. One in there, and we'll have one coming in there. Is that about it? Let's do a little leaf popping in there. There, so we've got a nice old olive stamped background. We have our sunflower just there. Got some daffodil. Yes, I don't know at what point we relax, Karen. I think we're probably not quite there yet. going to put some of this Daffodil Delight ribbon across the back of this same flower. Just drop to the end. There we go. But then perhaps it's a good thing that we're not completely relaxed just yet. Perhaps that would be in itself a little bit too premature. Not entirely out of the woods yet. Right, that's some ribbon on there, ready to go on. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of there. Let me just grab some big dimensionals. On there, I'm going to come in with these leaves. Let's have a big one in there. And where's that other leaf gone? Here it is. I'll put that in upside down, that's better. Those two little ones just there. I think we'll come in with one of these. How about a cherished friend? We'll have a bit of white card. Let's stamp it in Old Olive. And come over a bit like that. Oh, that's very wonky. Never mind. It was very sad, wasn't it, Glenda? Yes, we watched that. So many people have had funerals like that, haven't they, where they've not been able to be together as a family. So sad. We need more than ever to be together as a family. Let's bring that up a smidge. Sip. To trim a little tiny bit off of that. think I can get away with it. Yes. And we will make that 3/4 of an inch strip. Like that. I'm going to bring in, I have these wonderful pieces just here of the acetate with the with a little end stuck on it. That means I can decide where I want that to be. So this is the bit that snips off the end in the punch. So it's stuck onto the end of a piece of acetate. Not my idea. And actually I haven't even created these. I happened to say to one of my lovely ladies, to the Love-a-Duckie, I haven't even got round to doing that yet. And lo and behold, let's cut that off, shall we? You cut it off at your pencil mark and then punch. And lo and behold, they did arrive. So there we are. That is a label. I'm going to now grab, hopefully, some bit of Daffodil Delight card. So that was 3/4 of an inch. I now want a piece that's 1 inch wide. So let's just snip off a bit. Cut it to 1 inch wide, or just a little smidge under. Let me pop that through the punch on the inch section, and then let's bring in our bit. We want it about there. Let's bring in our, where's that just pinged to? 1, 2. Okay, who's pinched my wide one? That one and that one. That's not the wide one, is it? No, that's the medium-sized one. That's the only trouble with acetate, isn't it? We'll do it the old-fashioned way for a minute then. Ah, I can see it just here. So, cut there like that. And have our piece of acetate coming in there. Bring that up about where we want it. Make a pencil mark. Drop the card off and punch, and then it should be made to measure, unless my brain has completely left the building, and nothing would be surprise me. No, look at that, beautiful. Stick that on there. Let's bring this in. And I think we'll have it coming that side. Let's pop some dimensionals on the back of that. to have in the background. Might go for some rhinestones. We'll go classic sparkle. Slightly smaller just there. So there we go, that's a watercoloured sunflower. Let me pick up my little acetate pieces and put them back in their bag so I don't lose them. Thank you, Ducky. These to one side. Right, I think we'll have another card, but this time we'll have a little look at these dies. So we've got a background die, we've got a detailed die, we've got this little leaf, we've got this piece that creates the centerpiece, and then we've got these bits just here. Ooh, what to do? I think we'll go with some got some bumblebee card there that is quite nice for those pieces. That one is cherry cobbler. It's going to need some black. A bit of black card. And some Merry Merlot. Right, let's have a bit of a play. I'm going to, well, she wants some greens as well. I'm going to die cut the fancy bits in Merry Merlot, the background in cherry cobbler. I'm going to run these through my big machine just because it's sitting here and I can possibly get more than one go through at once. So cherry cobbler, Merry Merlot. I'm going to have some of these in bumblebee, so a bit like sort of corn at harvest time. Let's have, we'll put a bit of black just here. Let's have a black centre. Run those through, run out of room on my there's our centre bit. You can see, catch the holes in the centre of that. Let's come a little bit if I lay it down on there. Let's take our fancy sunflower and just all of those bits out of there. They will drop out quite nicely. Might need to work a little bit harder. I could just get my brush out, or just pop those out. Let's give that a run over with the brush. And then any that don't come out will pop out. That one is a little bit determined to stay, as is that one and that one. Just beautiful die cut. We have a background one just here. And we should be able to, yep, line that up with that. A piece in the middle. And we've got a couple of, almost, you could have them as leaves, but use them almost as like ears of corn or something. Harvesty. Going to perhaps cut a couple more of those. Let's have another bit, and then we want some leaves. Where's our leaf die gone? And we'll go perhaps mossy meadow. That's a bit darker on the green. Run those through. Some more yellow. Do another leaf. One. And two. Let's just run over this with our brush. They will just all drop out nice and easily. Now I'm going to bring in, this looks a very odd colour, this pencil, but it is actually a crushed curry. Just going to bring in a bit of crushed curry down there. Might add in a little bit. I am very sorry, I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Suddenly I had something pop up to say, you know, set new post, or I'm thinking, what's happened to my old post? So apologies. As I say, no idea what happened there. It just suddenly cut off. It decided it had heard enough of me. I will endeavour to those together at some point, if it will let me. So I'm just going to look a little bit odd, I think, on this card. So that just blended it into the background. Just want a touch of yellow coming out through these petals, so it's not all solid red, because some flowers do tend to be sort of a bit of a mixture of red and gold if they are red. It's better. Just there. Okay, let's stick that on there. So we could have gone in with them. Yeah, just very odd. It was like I hadn't even touched it. It wasn't that I touched anything by accident. It just decided it had had enough and was just going to stop. So let's, whether it was a dip in internet or something, that is possible. Oh, hello, Mr. Waspy. I think it's quite warm enough for wasps just yet. Right, I'm going to put this little bit of black in the centre of here. Have our leaves. And our bits of corn. I'm going to take a bit of white cardstock. And I'll cut that down to 13.9 by 9.5. To take some balmy blue. No, gremlins with this end, I'm afraid. And a blending brush, and I'm just going to add in let's have a bit of sky thing going on. I'm not taking it right out to the edge, just this centre bit. move that up so we've got some blue round there. Background, and let's come in with a cherry cobbler card base. Sort of laying these down a little bit, and then we will win in a greeting. Let's go back to our I think I'm going to do it just because. Oh, no, that's You're My Person. There's Just Because. Have a little bit of white. I'm going to cut to about 3/4 of an inch so that will pop on there, and then I think we'll have a bit of black that I'm going to cut to about an inch. And we'll come in there with some cherry cobbler, I think, to stamp that. And this time I am just going to do the other end. Now we have the flatter end on that one. Let's go with the pointy end on this one. So there, I want that to come about there. Ooh. Let's have a plain pencil, it won't make much difference, but so cut that off. And find my punch, drowning now under little bits and pieces of all sorts of things. where has the punch gone? There it is. So this time we'll use this more scalloped edge. And then we can just do the scalloped edge on this bit as well. Let's cut that off where we want it. Stick that on there. And cut that one off. So let's stick all this together. Our flower is stuck. So let us pop some dimensionals on the back of that. Raise that up. Let's bring these in. Just going to put some glue on these ends. Not going to worry too much about the other end. They can be wildly free. Let's pop that on so we know where that's going to be positioned. And then we can position this leaf. And we'll do the same with these. Let's, oh, apologies, I'll put some little spots of glue on the end of those. Same the other end. Tuck that in there. And then this little one. I'm actually going to snip the end off of that a little bit. Let's pop this on here. And put that on there. And then I think we'll have a few little matte black dots on this one. Something else that's going to be carrying over to the new catalogue, which I'm very pleased about because they are so useful. So there we go, 2 cards using the Celebrate Sunflowers and matching dies. One very traditionally yellow, one red, And then we've teamed that with those greetings and that punch, the lovely you greetings, and that clever little punch. So one all in yellow with those sunflowers in the background, one in red with a touch of crushed curry in the background with the dies. Two different colours, bright sunflowers. If you haven't got your sunflower set, get it now while you can still get it at bundle price. And I will be back on Friday to play some more. Until then, have a good week and I'll see you soon.